Okay, hello, this is Martin. Take two. You know me on my series on I told you about how to pay off your car loan in 36 months without giving up Starbucks or being cheap, and we went over the unemployment articles. Just to let you know, there's 26 million people out of work. That means, and only of those 26 million, I only know 6.6 million who I focus on already apply for the unemployment benefits and are working themselves through the system. You're the guys I want to help because you guys are going to be the ones to go out there and stabilize the market. Because as soon as the doors open up, if you take that unemployment money and just buy yourself sometimes like, okay, let me make a car payment, let me pay part of my rent, and then boom, go back out there and say, hey, we're working with Martin. He has these special programs. He's teaching me how to go in and give a pay raise. He teaches me when they say want to interview 3 people. I say, okay, that's great. You want to interview 3 people. Tell me, what were you looking for if you were to find an ideal? If all things were equal and all of our candidates were the same, what would be the thing that would set us apart? Like, you got to go in there and make them think. Well, so what you're saying is this. Well, if I could do this and this and this, why don't I just save you time instead of you? It's great for you to go out and interview and work on your interview skills, but hey, why don't I just take care of these things for you? Let's get your company making money. We already know like maybe a third or quarter of your competitors have gone out of business. So instead of you like wasting time interviewing, hey, let's go hit those candidates, man. Let's go see if we can dig up their customers, orphan customers, unsold customers. Let's go out there and expand your market. Let's go do a land grab. They say, hey, I like what you're saying, man. Let's go out and do that. So teach you that. And it's like talking about, let's just do a pay range. Or we'll just talk about what objections are you getting. You just say, they say, oh, I'm thinking about hiring Aunt Betty or Aunt Cindy for the job. That's great. Even though you want to hire Aunt Cindy another job, but maybe, can you hire both of us? Yeah, I never thought of that. Maybe I'll have Aunt Cindy do that. Because like I told you, even if you do get a job, there's going to be a high probability that that job won't last long. But at least you get back in the workforce and you won't be like me back in 1995 where I took 6 months to finally go out there, start looking for a job and go to an employer and they find out you kind of been sitting around the house. They don't really like that. So, but today, and then I told you, the way you take advantage of some of my advance, I have a $40, $100, $597 advance program. You just make out your check to Martin Morris, P.O. Box 540, San Bernardino, California, 92402. Martin Morris, P.O. Box 540, San Bernardino, California, 92402. Make out your check to me. I have a $40, $100, $597 program. Just put your comment or email me. We'll go into more information about that. So today, let's go. Yesterday, I just kind of rambled off a bunch of questions like you should be asking yourself why you're unemployed. Because no, you don't need to be binge watching. There's nothing to be binge watching. You're wasting time. Especially if you're that first 6.6 million that got your checks or hanging in. You guys need to go out there working now because they're going to be 20 million. Because like just because Uncle Trump said you can get $600 or whatever for 13 weeks, if there ain't no money, you ain't gonna get nothing. So you want to beat those 20 million people behind you. You want to beat them to market because you don't know what's going to happen with money and because basically when all those people hit the market, they're all you guys are going to be is just like a name. I don't know, just like this. It's going to be like this, like a name on a list, a stack of paper, stack of paper, stack of paper. That's what I'm working with you to show you that special talent to use to separate yourself. But let me get you some questions while you're unemployed. While you're heading into the weekend, let me give you some things to talk about. Question number 1. Is it time to give up the car? I know, I've run my complex. I've seen like 5 Mercedes, 1 Porsche, 1 Range Rover, 2 BMWs. I haven't seen any Jaguars. All of them are owned by students, and all of them have been sitting if you go into my complex, they're all sitting idle. Because you know what? All the schools are shut down, so all the money they made to have their fancy cars sitting in there. So maybe some of them need to consider, hey, maybe it's time to get rid of the car, man. So think about it. Let me give you 2 reasons you should get rid of a car. 1, you're riding on used tires. 2, if you have like a car and you have a donut on it instead of a regular tire, you've been riding on that donut tire for like 2 or 3 weeks, that's a sign that you have more car. You have more car than money. And number 3 would be Can you afford the maintenance on the car? Are you going to the dealer to get your car, or are you going to Uncle Tom to do the maintenance on the car? That's a big difference, because when you take your car to one of these small mom and pop automotive shops, the problem is, instead of them just like, they have enough customers, they could just raise their price, but they're shopping around for the cheapest parts, and that's why it takes so long for you to get your car. I found this out when I dropped off my Beamer somewhere. I'm like, what are they doing? Oh, we're waiting for a part to come in. I'm like, what are you parts? So they're like, they're just operating on these thin margins instead of learning how to sell and expand their market. There's the customer market. They're trying to save money on parts. Save money on parts, jack up the labor. But then they have the labor so cheap. It was crazy. So I think, take a look at the car, man. If your car insurance is like at least $500, think about it. Or if the car is just, if you know, like I told you, it's going to take you at least 2 years to find a job to pay for your equivalent job. So with this unemployment, it's going to only last for 9 months. So after 9 months, what's going to happen? Are you going to be able to make your car payment? Are you making a house payment? Or are you going to have to go in debt to keep the car and make the house or loan payment? So think about that. Number 2 is, maybe you need to give up. Have you thought about, here's a question. So question number 1 was, maybe it's time to give up the car. I don't care what kind of car it is. It could be a Camry, it could be whatever. If you can't do the maintenance, if you're riding on a donut, and you find yourself looking for the cheapest gas, I think it's time to give up the car. Get something cheaper, at least for now. Number 2, get rid of the dog. Oh, man. I don't know. I guess it's like 49% of people have dogs, 44% of people have cats. And I talked to a lady, she had a small little wiener dog, and she spent like $8,000 or $9,000 on a dog. His back is broken and stuff. And I'm thinking, man, back in the old days, Hog, that's the name of my grandfather, Hog would put him in the back of this big Chevy, a big old Ford truck with like the shifting lever on the side of the drive column. You'd have taken that little wiener dog for a ride, dropped him off on Vermont and El Segundo, trying to see if Fido could find his way home. But Hog wasn't paying no $8,000 for no dog. And then I talked to some other people. They tell me, oh, my dog has certain stones and chemotherapy. I'm like, what are these people doing? It's a damn dog, man. And then on top of it, you got people who live in apartments who want to have dogs. I guess there's been a little dog barking in my place. The other dogs like right in the back. And let me just tell you about having dogs in apartments. It's just selfish. Get rid of a dog. Here's your reason to get rid of a dog. If you live in an apartment, get rid of the dog. It's just being selfish. It's cruelty to animals. And no, walking your dog and let your dog piss on every little tree and every little pole is not cool. When I grew up, we had all kind of space, like quarter-acre space for dogs. That's when you have a dog. The dog should be able to walk himself. You don't need to walk the damn dog. I mean, I look at some of these people picking up the shit for the dog in an apartment complex. The dog's just looking at them, looking like, look at this damn fool. Then if they're pissing and doing this stuff outside, you can only imagine what they're doing inside. Dogs are barking, just pissing the neighbors off. Neighbors are arguing, neighbors are shooting. It's crazy, man. So get rid of the dog if you live in an apartment. Get rid of the dog if you have medical expenses over $1,000 a year. You can't afford, you're broke now. When you were working, you could do all this fancy stuff now. Have a nice husky dog, have a little wiener dog, have a little Persian little dog or whatever they are. You don't have no money for no dogs now, man. You better have enough money to keep before for Uncle Trump. You'd be out on the street now. I made $1,440. So when I hear about this extra $3,400 or whatever, $3,600, I'm saying you need to be taking that little extra money and investing it in like pushing your career forward, not trying to take care of something it's done now. Trying to take care of putting money into the car, putting money into like a dog, spending all that money. Kids don't get rid of the dog. You know, kid, go out and make me some money. Go find me some money. You go find me some money, we keep the dog. If you don't find me no money, son, Fido's out the door. Give him to a friend, I don't care. I'll take him for a ride myself or take him to the shelter, see if he had get picked up. I don't know, but Fido's on the way out. Even if you have a house, you need to consider, are you gonna keep the dog? Do you have money to maintain the dog? Do you have money to take care of the dog? Do you have insurance on the dog? Dog can be more expensive to the person. You know why people like dogs? Because the dog don't talk back. That's all. That's the reason you had your dog. You have bad people skills. I know, 'cause I used to be shy. I used to have all kind of dogs. But after a while, you got to let the dog go. And I knew you say, oh, I need the dog for my mental. The dog ain't going to help you with the mental, man. That dog gonna cost you more money, mental stress, because you don't have money to feed it. Then the dog is gonna take care of it. The dog's gonna be bitter. The dog's gonna be barking. It's gonna let me know you're part psychopath, and I gotta keep an eye on you because you're probably gonna shoot yourself and the wife, and probably the dog too when you snap. So, one, get rid of the car. Can't afford the maintenance. You find yourself going to the cheapest gas places, your cheaper auto parts for repair, and if you're driving on a donut, get rid of the dog. One, if you live in an apartment. Two, if your dog expenses of over $1,000 a year, get rid of the dog. Dog's got to go. Number three would be, what are you doing to invest in yourself? What have you done different? Now that you're out of work, what have you been doing? Have you been working out more? Have you changed your diet around? Have you been tracking your budget? What have you been doing just to keep your financial picture in focus? There's 26 million people, and there's going to be more out of work soon. So what are you doing to separate yourself? Right now, this is just the calm before the storm. Don't ask me why more people, like the people in all the southern states, are pissed off. For some reason, I see all the people more in the California, western states are just kind of taking it easy because they think once all of this ends, they're going to go back. But I've been driving all from Palm Springs to Banning to down to all over. And all the business that used to be in business ain't in business no more. You see now they're renovating the buildings, or you'll see a sign for rent. You'll see the door sign be sign for rent, out of business or liquidation sales. So even if business is there, once you come back, all they're going to do is liquidate stuff and get rid of it. So what have you been doing to invest in your mind? Number one. And number two is part of that question. Have you been tracking your expenses? Gas is cheap right now. So if you want to go work out to the park or something, you can go do that. So that means you should be saving whatever money we're using for gas to go to work, whatever that difference is, you should be saving. And kind of track what food you're buying, because the food is pretty cheap now. After that first 2 weeks, that March week was a run on the food now. Only thing mostly missing from the stores now are biscuits. Black man can't get him no biscuits. I'm like, man. As you telling the guy, where are people eating all the biscuits? They're eating the biscuits, the croissants that go back there. I can't get me no biscuits. I got one biscuit, man. I've only had 2 biscuits since March 19th, man. It's crazy, but there's no biscuits. Oh yeah, there's no mixed vegetables. The canned vegetables stuff. If you go to I go to Albertsons, man. I tried going to Aldi, but I don't know, all that name brand stuff sucks, and there's really nothing there. Let's be honest. Aldi is one step below Target. That's all I'm saying. Cheap, one step below Target. And even when you go shop at Target, it ain't that good for food either. It's great for staple food, ketchup and mustard and stuff, but it comes from the meats and the fruits, it sucks. And they're not. I don't know. It's good they have it, but their bakery and shit, they should just get rid of it and just go back to the regular stuff. They'd make more money, have less spoilage. That's what I think. But track how much you're spending, track how much you're educating yourself. Have you been paid for any programs just to just watch on YouTube? Or have you just watched any free programs on YouTube? So those are your 3 questions for the week. So let me know, have you been subscribed? Subscribe. Because there's 26 million of you, and we want to get this channel up to at least 2 to 3 million. That's only 10%. So even if 18 million of you hate me, you're like, stop telling me, Martin, about I gotta make money. Stop telling me about how bad things are. I'm just saying, things are bad. I went through the 1995 recession, 2001 recession, 2008 recession. If you don't want to listen to what I have to say, I don't know. Maybe listen to one of your friends who went through the 2008 recession. You're working with him at your job, and he can tell you about how mom and dad got divorced. Like, Mom, why is daddy leaving? Or Daddy, why is mommy leaving? House went into foreclosure. They lost the house, and dad went from working for a company to being a sorry independent contractor that damages stuff to finally going back to work for a company. So you can be one of those. You can be one of those young people, 25 and older. Hey, go back and learn from mom and dad from 2008. Hey, see if you can get any lessons for them. Or why don't you come to someone who learned from the 1995 recession? See, I know what it's like to not have a job, to go months without working. You need someone to teach you, hey, once you get that job, you don't get fired from that job. It's not going to be from any fault on your own. You're doing an excellent job. Then go to the next job. My goal is to teach you to go from this job to this job to this job. Also, I'm going to teach you, hey, once you leave a job, the friends you have are gone. You might as well consider them dead. Talk to them if you can, but don't expect them to help you. I'm just saying, you ain't going to get back in the building. COVID-19 or no COVID-19. Once you out of there, you out of there. Go ask the people at Disney. See how they're doing. How about the Cinemark, 17,500? And those are the ones I know off the top of my head. And then because I haven't been following the cruise liner, the trade shows. I worked at Disney. Oh, Macy's, 125,000. They were laid off before COVID-19. God knows how many have been laid off after COVID-19. So those are all the people you're competing against. So now's the time. Hey, you got the little money, invest in yourself. $40, $100, $597 program. Martin Morris, P.O. Box 540, San Bernardino, California, 92402. You're asking, Mark, 9242. Why you want us to float a check? You need to learn how to float a check. You can't always use your credit. You can't always use your debits. When you use a check, one, you hold a spot and you post date the check. And then you just give a check to someone and say, hey, as long as you know you're going to put the money in, give the guy the check. Because that gives the people the confidence like, hey, I got confidence this person is going to make good. So that's why I'm teaching you how to float checks. Because you don't need to, you got to use credit in this economy with all these people, you don't know how many shots you have to take at interviewing. It could be one job, and even if you get interviewed, like I told you, you could lose that job the next day. So I want to teach you, hey, get the job, save the money. Hey, I may get laid off, boom. Get back in, like I said, it's okay to get unemployment. Even if you're working, all they're going to do is deduct the difference, send you back in the workforce. That's how it's going to be. One job for 2 days, one job for 4 days, one job for 5 months, fire, boom. And then like a year or so, you'll find an equivalent job or better. But you're going to have to play that game in this economy. And you don't really have to work for free. That's why if you're the first 6.6 million, take that money and invest it. Because once those people come behind you, they're going to work for free. They're going to be desperate. And the employers are going to get confused and they're not going to know what to do. Some of them think they can take advantage of people. Some of them can't. This becomes confusion. Instead of you going into the marketplace right now and say, hey, let's get this going. Let me show you how to get these people now. I don't need a lot of money. Let's do commission. Blah, 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 blah. Once everything is humming again, hey, I'll come renegotiate. You don't have to worry. But let's just get us in the door. Land grab, customer grab. Let me show you how to make money. That's why I want you to join my programs. And even if you don't join my programs, stop watching these stupid YouTube videos on making pancakes, on bad food people cook, and NFL draft. That's not going to help you, man. You're broke. The athletes, they're fine. If you're out of bread, if you're fired, laid off, taking a pay cut, you're broke. You can look at that stuff on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I want you guys to focus on getting that job. That's all you need to talk about. No, I want to watch no type of bizarre videos. Focus on, hey, what can I do to set myself apart from the 27 million people that are hungry like me looking for a job? As soon as those doors are open up, I want you to be the first one knocking at that door, getting that money. So subscribe. You can comment and like if you want. Subscribe, share this channel. Let me help you. 6.6 million people get back to work. And those 20 million, hey, learn from the 6.6 million people how you can get back to work later.